Good morning, everyone. This is Peter Boutros here, and we have Sharif Hatab on the podcast as always. And today we're going to be talking about our client appreciation events, why they're important, what we do to get people in the door, and what we do post the event to make sure that we continue to serve and get more referrals from our clients, our future clients, and our sphere, and it benefits the whole team. So, Sharif, welcome to the podcast on this beautiful Sunday day. It's not raining today, thank God. How are you doing today?
Good, good. How you doing, Peter?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Sharif, we're sort of talking about are talking about client events today in the podcast, and just wanted to see what you do on your client events, how often you do them, and how has it benefited you and your team so far?
Yeah, so I mean, client events, we're doing them on a quarterly basis. I think it's important. It's great to do the event itself. It's always fun to have a gathering and bring everyone together, but it's most important for the outreach, right? So the whole point of the client event, the why we do it quarterly, is because you're supposed to outreach to your actual database, your sphere, your past clients on a quarterly basis, minimally, right? So that gives us, a reasoning to actually do that, more comfortable conversation rather than call someone up and have that awkward conversation and try to figure out what to talk about. This minimally gives you a reason to have that conversation with them. You're inviting them to an event. So that's one benefit that we love to provide to our team. With that being said, it keeps us top of mind with our sphere, with our past clients. I mean, I can tell you personal example. I had a closing 5 years ago, no response from his client since then. Invited him, religiously to a client event. And within the past week, he texts me about a beach property he wants to buy as a second home. And no communication with this guy since then. So you could see the results that you can get from a client event because the majority of people out there, after they interact with their agent, they lose touch. They stop talking to them. So this gives our team, the upper hand to always be top of mind and always reaching out. Now, different client events that we do. I know we do similar stuff, right, Pete? And let's tell the people out there, what do we do as client events?
Yeah, so there's so many different ideas, and we're more than happy to send you guys a list of our ideas that we've done in the past. So just drop a comment at the end or reach out to us, and we'll be more than happy to send you the list. But we'll give you a few examples of what we do now. But before we do that, just like Sharif said, we do these quarterly, and a lot of times even people that don't come to the event, I don't want you guys to get bummed out if you don't get a lot of turnout or a lot of people not show up. The whole idea, again, is for you to reach out to those people and keep on top of mind and just reach out. And this way, when they think about real estate, they're thinking about you. There was a study with the National Association of Realtors, and I forgot what the exact percentage is, but it was definitely over 50% of clients that do business with the real estate agent don't even remember their name after a year. So that's horrible, right? We want to make sure that we stay on top of mind. So this way, people think of us. And a lot of times, those clients end up buying or selling within the next 2 to 3 years, sometimes 4 or 5 years, right? Or sometimes they'll send you referrals, family or friends. And we've gotten so many of those just by reaching out, just like Sharif said.
Yeah, that's the purpose of it. It's about the reach out. Really, you hit the nail on the head, Peter. Like, don't overcomplicate it. You're going to get to the point where your client events are going to bring in a lot of people, but in the beginning, you might not get that many people, and that's okay because it's all about the outreach. It's all about just keeping yourself in front of these, past clients and even your sphere, right? And doing something nice for everybody that they can talk about with their friends and families.
100%. And we'll give you a few examples now. I mean, and some of those we're pretty much R&Ding them, so ripping them off and duplicating them from other people. And I do the same thing with Sharif. Like some of his events, I do the same. I mean, it doesn't really matter. You don't have to complicate it at all. It's a way for you to reach out. So I'll give you a few examples, and Sharif will give you some as well. So yesterday, actually, we did one where we rented out a gazebo at the park, and we got an ice cream truck. We catered food. We had a face painter. We had a DJ, and we did some raffles for people to win some prizes. And that was one of them that we just did just yesterday. And I had a 4th of July theme because it's a week before 4th of July. So we were given also away some flags. So if we waited till closer to Fourth of July, most people would have been already, their time is consumed with other plans. So, what about you, Sharif? What are some of the recent events that you've done?
I mean, we have pretty like, structured events at this point. We do at the beginning of the year, we have our movie themed event where we normally rent out a movie theater. We invite, it's about 103 people we can fit in the theater itself. So it's very limited. For that event, we like to hit up just our, tight A clients and close sphere that are past referrals. So we definitely like to do that. And then normally, after that, in the spring, we do our pizza and ice cream social. So that's a good event. That one, we normally don't put a cap on it. We had over 100 people. I think we had like 125 people in our most recent one. And we were looking at changing locations at this point. And mind you, when we first did this event, that was our fourth annual, right? The first one we did, not many people showed up. So
Mm-hmm.
only in a few years we've built up that much momentum. So we do our pizza and ice cream social, which is a great event. And then in the fall we do our autumn harvest, which is awesome. We do like a little party for our friends and family. No cap limit on that one as well. We do one. Everything that we do is mostly at local places. There's some we do at a local nursery that's also a deli. We have face painting like you do, Peter, as well. Live music, at most of our events. This one specifically, we do give away a pumpkin to every guest, where they paint them at the event as well. So it gives a nice little, fun fall theme. And then in the winter, right around the holidays or right before Thanksgiving, we do a pie giveaway. And that one, is our classic event. We get a pretty good turnout for that. It's great to catch up with everybody during the holidays. But those are our structured events, and then along the way, we'll try to pop in a little things here and there for our clients, little contests and things. But at every event, we do give away prizes as well. We like to throw a little fun in there. We do normally give away a TV at every event, just as a theme now. We sticking with it. We started it early, so figured might as well stick with it and just give them out. So it's a good time. But there's a bunch of things you can do out there. Don't you agree, Pete?
Yeah, absolutely. And I love the way that you said it's structured now. So you don't have to think of an idea every single time.
Yeah.
So you're probably redoing everything every year again and again. So this way it's just easy. You know, when you're sending out the invites, what day they're going to be. They're probably already pre scheduled, right, Sharif? Like, so this way you don't have to worry about that.
I wish I could say that they are, Pete, but I'm not gonna lie, they're not. We're usually scrambling a couple of months prior and getting them, ready like we're doing it right now for our fall event. And they're structured right now, but it's not saying that we couldn't shift things around and maybe because we've always toyed with the idea of doing, a different spring event, doing like an egg hunt, uh, doing different things like that. We could shift things around, but you're right, the work's been done. So it's not like we're scrambling, right? We already know what we have to do. There's a process to every event, which is a good segue to talk about what do we do for each event, right? And how do we prepare for it? So I think it all starts with a brainstorming session. Really finding some key players that you work with, work alongside, people that can actually sponsor the event, that can help you, people within your team, if you're lucky enough to have one as well, that can also kind of spearhead or make a committee out of it, right? I think that's the first step. Don't you agree, Pete?
Oh, 100%. It's huge. I mean, because there's a lot to do with setting up the event and you can't do it by yourself. So if you have a team, it will definitely help.
It's a
But,
party thing, you know? Like,
exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Between setting up the flyers, the flags, the whatever, the backdrops, getting food ordered, inviting people. And that's why we're going to dig deeper a little bit because honestly, I think that's probably the hardest part. And it took me a little bit to kind of figure out the momentum for this. And obviously, with kind of masterminding with you, Sharif, like you pretty much showed me what works for you. And we weren't like, so what we do now is just like pretty much similar to what you do. So we reach out at least 6 weeks prior to the event, and then we continue to reach out to them every single week or until the event because we realize that not a lot of people remember and they forget or they don't check their emails. We got to reach out to them, email, text, and call. And then we got to continue to do that. And also for those that do register, we have to keep reminding them because let's be honest, not everybody's like us, so staying on top of their calendar or they work religiously with their calendar, right? So We've had so many people that told us last minute they completely forgot, and that was our fault because we didn't really remind them a week or two or a day before the event too. Now we have that system, like you said, that we continue to follow up with them every single week until the event and the day prior to the event.
That's
And then
great.
even, yeah, post the event too, we gotta obviously thank them about coming, and again just continue to reach out.
No, I noticed that too from your past couple of events that you changed it up to a structure similar to ours where we're doing like, a blast, an email blast, and people are just slacking on emails. Emails are great. People just don't realize, how much you actually, get as an open rate for some of these emails that you're sending out, especially client related ones, party related ones. You're getting face front in front of your clients, in front of your sphere. And you need to do that. And you should be planning these events 2 to 3 months prior, right? That's the whole point. Like, you don't want to actually be like slammed coming up to the event, which it always ends up happening anyway because things go wrong. Don't worry about it. But book the event, book a venue, book something, book what you're going to do, plan it out, do the marketing for it, create the flyer, create the promotional material that you need. For us, it's usually structured emails, right? We're doing a flyer as well, and then have that all built out so you can start running it. And the point of it, again, is to get outreach to these people. So why not do it months prior? Your outreach, you're sending out emails. We have a canned template within our CRM, usually as a follow-up text to that email that myself and all the people, all the agents on the team utilize as well. So it's something that you have to structure and actually have some type of system behind it so that you can actually reach out on a consistent basis and actually utilize the event for what it's for, the actual outreach, and don't get hung up so much in the event itself. So doing consistent emails, I agree with you, basically spacing them out in the beginning. And as you approach the event, you want to get them a little bit closer together, until like right before the event when you're 3, 4 weeks out, you're doing the weekly basis. And then, following up with those text messages, definitely making those phone calls as well. I can tell you conversion rate on invitations increases dramatically when you get the person on the phone and personally invite them. I can promise you that. Having more people at the event and having everybody collaborate is what you want as well because it builds a good community. And definitely, having all the marketing done prior is essential.
Yeah, no, it's huge. It's definitely huge. I mean, we had clients that we met at a listing appointment the week prior, the 2 weeks prior, and then we just personally invited them right before we left the appointment.
Yep.
And a couple of them came, and it was great. And it's also a great way for the sponsors to meet their clients in person, especially the ones that don't see their clients typically, like the loan officers or the insurance officers or reps, attorneys. A lot of these vendors don't end up meeting their clients in person at all. So when or the inspectors, they most of them meet, but it's also a great way to keep them on top of mind because and a good reason for them to get more referrals out of them, because just like you said earlier, like we're staying on top of mind, we're helping our sponsors and our vendors stay on top of mind of our clients, so it ends up helping everybody overall. And it's fun. Like, we had a blast yesterday, and we try to make it as fun as possible. So, I know it's stressful in the beginning, like up to the event, but once you're there, like, and everything is done, to the way that you want it, a lot of times it's just a lot of fun, and people are happy and so thankful. And like, we had so many people yesterday saying, oh, we're going to be buying multiple houses with your team. And it's just great to say to hear that at the event in person from them. And those are going to be raving fans for us down the road.
Yeah, definitely. And when it comes down to it, when you're talking about vendors, they can help also subsidize costs, right? So they can help you towards that bottom nut that you have to pay for these events. So it's not as much of as an impact for you. So definitely hit up your lender if you have a lender that you consistently use, your title company, inspection company, attorneys, insurance company, whoever that you utilize on a consistent basis. Everybody can, donate a certain amount of money as a sponsorship for the actual event. And you can put them on the promotional material, give them certain levels that they can come in at just to help offset the cost for yourself. So remember, it doesn't all have to be that financial impact on you. You can partner with those people. That's why that brainstorming session in the beginning is so important, just so you can figure out who you can have, partner up with you so that it can offset the costs. So do that, do it on a consistent basis. And it's all about the outreach. So just keep that top of mind when you're actually engineering the planning for the event itself.
Yeah, we started doing something similar to our menu of services with our events. I don't know if you do the same thing, Sharif, but we have, a silver, gold, and a platinum or a diamond sponsorship that they can choose from. And based on what each one like offers, they obviously some of them are higher than others, but it gives them more promotional material. It gives them more views, or it gets them in front of more clients, and more advertisement for them as well. So I don't know if you do something similar like that, Sharif.
I mean, I've always recommended that. I sit on a lot of boards for nonprofits and organizations in the area, and that's how we structure it for our actual events when we're doing fundraising. So I have nothing against that. And I've talked to multiple coaching clients about it as well. And I think it's a great way to do it. Us personally, we're at the point where we have established relationships with our partner vendors where we have our go to people. So, and I'm a pretty loyal person when it comes to my vendors. So I don't like to go out there and try to, fish other people. I have my consistent vendors that I work with on a consistent basis. So I just go to them. They're always there for me. We have, a pretty set up system where we just offset costs depending on what everything does cost. So that's how I structure it on my side, which is another way to do it, right? Just kind of figure out how much everything is cost, and hey, this is your portion. This is your portion. Like, you're in charge of food, you've got entertainment. You can split it up that way, and it makes it a lot easier as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I like the fact too that based on, again, their spending, they get also certain benefits to the sponsorship too. Because like what I was trying to say before is like, oh, you can have a basic package where you can, let's say, chip in $300 and it will get you this many logos on our table or on our social media, on our emails, and up to the platinum where they can spend a little bit more and then they're able to get more in front of more people, or get an announcement at the booth or something along those along with that. But also, like I had before, there was a coach that has done this, and it was really cool, and I thought it was genius actually. Where in the beginning of the year they reach out to all their vendors and they pretty much have everything pre-planned. Where they say, okay, we're gonna have 4 events this year, and this is the amount that you can contribute to each event. Let us know now which ones you're gonna be doing and how much you're willing to contribute. And the fact that I like about that too is that it sets the expectations early on. So this way, if you're still having that early relationship and you don't have that loyalty from some vendors, it kind of sets the expectations, because there's nothing more frustrating when you're sending. Let's say you try to use a new lender or an attorney. Attorney is a great way because essentially they don't co-market with you for a lot, but or a title company, but you're pretty much sending them business that they don't pay for, and the only way that they can contribute is towards those events. So it's just setting these expectations and letting them know, hey, like this is what it costs me to do these events, and we're looking for X amount of sponsorship to get you in front of more clients down the road. And most of them are going to be extremely happy because you're sending them business, and at the end of the day, it's a partnership, right? Like it has to be a two-way street.
Definitely, definitely, it is a two-way street, and for them, it's also an opportunity to outreach to their clients. Most likely, they're going to be working with or have worked with people in that room as well, and it's a good time for them to actually outreach. It's a good excuse for them to also reach out to their client base that have worked with you and also invite them. So it's another touch. So it works out for everybody. It's really a win-win situation. You just got to make the effort and actually do the event. And that's what it comes down to, is just the execution. Don't get into analysis paralysis, and everyone does that. It's all about the execution of items. That's how you find success. So just do the event. You'll get better and better with them as time goes on. Don't let it get into your head, and you improve on them every time. Don't you agree, Pete?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, just like you said earlier, and I experienced it too. I mean, yesterday was our best event so far, and mainly because I used your system, Sharif. Where now I'm like, okay, something is definitely wrong for because we're not getting as many people as Sharif. So I'm like hammered our assistant, and I was like, we need to copy exactly what Sharif does and just look at what he does. So we started doing that, and we had a little bit of an issue with our email server that wasn't really going like delivering a lot of emails, so we fixed it, and I think that helped a little bit too. But we literally copied what you did, and then I every time I get an email from you about the event, I just forward it to her. I'm like, look how often he's doing it. Even the fact that you follow up on some referrals you send out to us, I'm like, you see how his system is and like how he's following up with every referral. We need to have that in place, right? And she's doing that in return, even though it was like she was telling Patty yesterday, it's a mobile home, right? But I'm like, I don't care, but we need to follow the same system that they do, because this is, at the end of the day, just applies to everything. And it's
Yes.
just more of the fact that there's a system in place about behind everything, or a checklist in place behind everything, and just makes things so much easier. As long as, and this is, if there's one thing you guys can take away from this podcast, is definitely have a system and a checklist in place for everything that you do. This way, you don't have to redo everything. And Begonia was telling me this yesterday, and I didn't even know that she has this, but she created a Trello checklist for these events, because she saw that, and because I keep telling her, I'm like, anything that we repeat on consistent basis, we need to have a checklist for, just like we do on the TC side, the transaction management side, and it just applies to everything, right, Sharif?
It's important. It's so important. Why would you scramble if you're doing something? You might as well just repeat and then do better, right? That's really what you should be doing in life itself, is figuring out a system and then just improving on it every day until it actually perfects itself. So there's no reason, if you're doing anything multiple times, you should definitely be recording that and then automating that process, right? And that's just exactly what, Begonia did a great job of, making that checklist and making sure so it's consistent as well. With us, we have a tub that we have for events that we could grab. It has everything in it that we need for an event. So it works out pretty well. So we don't have to look everywhere for stuff. But definitely, just have that brainstorming session, figure it out, and then document, figure out what went right and what went wrong and fix it. And that's all you're going to do. And you'll have awesome client events in the future.
Yes, yes. I mean, that's it, guys. I mean, you really have to, like, you don't have to overcomplicate it. If you want a checklist or our checklist or ideas of our client event, just let us know. Drop a comment on our YouTube video, send us a DM on social media, or just follow us on our Facebook group, and then we'll be more than happy to send it over to you guys. Because at the end of the day, it's not like we invented everything from scratch. We ended up doing the same thing. We copied it from somebody else, but we did some tweaks to it as time went by to see what worked for us.
Yeah.
And that's what you're going to end up doing too.
Yeah, just and also complement it on some of these events as well. You can use social media as a great tool.
Yeah.
Depending if you have a cap or not. With our movie event, we might not post that because it's a very exclusive event, right? And with our pizza and ice cream social, we post it, right? So definitely utilize that. And remember, it's about the communication. So don't slack on the post event communication. Thank the people that came, right, to the event so that you have that outreach yet again, and then outreach to the people that didn't come and let them know about the time that they missed and how we hope to see them at the next one, because it's going to be different touches that you have along the way and different opportunities for you to hit your database. That's all we're trying to do, is just shake up the database, because that's really the most important thing, is to keep all the people that organized and to shake up that database every once in a while.
Yeah. I mean, you guys know how much leads cost, and it only goes up from there. And if you really want to have a sustainable business and a profitable business, you can't depend on buying leads all the time. Like, I think, Sharif, you're more than 50% of your business, or close to it, is probably referrals and past clients, or sphere, right?
Yeah,
And it's
50 to 55% of our business at this point.
Yeah, and it's a little bit like us also on our side. I think we're like in the 45 to 50%. That's fear and past clients. So we can't depend on buying leads all the time, because it's just not a sustainable way to run a business. It just gets very costly, and that's why, like, spending a couple of grand on an event like this, and hopefully you don't have to come out with much out of pocket. But if you get enough sponsorships, you can get like 2 or 3 referrals out of every event, which was huge. It's definitely worth it. And like,
That's the whole point, right, Pete? That's why
yeah.
we do it. It's to have that outreach and get those referrals coming back. I mean, did you guys have any success yesterday?
Oh yeah, I mean, a couple of referrals, and even we had people come that we didn't do business with yet. They just reached out to us on social media. They said, hey, we know we're not clients yet, but can we come? We will most likely be future clients who've been following you for a while. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. I'm not going to say no. It's great. I mean, I would love for everybody to come as long as we don't have a cap like you mentioned. Everybody can come, and neighbors. We invited our neighbors as well because we want to create that brand awareness in our neighborhood and our town. So absolutely, anybody can come. So you definitely, and the fact is, like, a lot of real estate agents get this wrong. Like, they feel like they have to call their friends and family members, and or sometimes they don't want to do it because they feel like it's a little bit icky asking them for business. So this is a great way to get in front of them, and you're not really asking them for any business. You're just inviting them to an event, and in return, just because you invited somebody for something, or to offer them something, they will offer you something in return down the road, and that's how it is.
Yeah, definitely. But I mean, that's
Yeah,
pretty much the gist of it from start to finish. Client events, what we do, how we do it, why we do it, and, just the process behind it. If you guys like this type of content and want to see more, please definitely like and subscribe down below. And we'll put some more, tidbits about, our hints and, different checklists.
yeah. Well, thank you guys for listening in, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Have a good one. Take care. Bye.